So 99% of people that I have worked with, athletes of all levels, cannot do this simple exercise. It's called a wrist push-up. I'm gonna show you one right now. Hands on the floor, like a push-up. Shoulders directly over the hands. Looks like a simple movement. All I'm gonna do, I'm gonna rise up and back down. Welcome back to 9408 Fitness. You know what, Carrie? It's the holidays.
It's the holidays, and we've been gone for a while, man.
We've been gone.
With this pandemic, and not knowing what's going on, but man, we're back and we're pumped for 2021. So
I gotta admit, man, I love your little studio here where, you know, he's a personal trainer. You got it all decked out. You got holiday, Christmas stuff everywhere.
Gotta be festive. Gotta be festive.
But
Absolutely.
today, we want to tell you about, in my opinion, the most neglected muscle on the human body. I'm using it right now as I'm speaking to you. It's the wrist. We use our wrists for everything. Doesn't even have to be in fitness. When you're writing, when you're typing, you're always using your wrists. And I hear so many people talk about wrist problems, carpal tunnel problems, so many things in our hands.
Absolutely.
And not just athletes, but I want to talk specifically with you about what we can do for our fitness level with our wrist. Because I work with CrossFitters, so does Carrie. I work with people like gymnasts, martial artists, rock climbers. Meet a lot of people that are always needing to use their hands and wrists, and I hear a lot of complaints. What kind of complaints do you hear about?
Well, you know, guys, first of all, we're so thankful, and we're just awesome to have an Olympic gymnast here to show us how to do wrist strength, because it doesn't make it look really, really easy to do some of these things, but it's not. It's so important. And we've seen so many different kinds of injuries and different things that are associated with the wrist when it comes to every time going into a push-up or anything, you know, grabbing a certain bar, trying to do a hang clean or like a power clean. You gotta have that grip strength, which relates to the wrist.
And so here's what we're gonna do today. I've got a challenge for anyone that's watching. I'm gonna give you 3 wrist exercises. That's it. Really simple.
Right.
They're gonna look really easy. But I'm telling you right now, of all the people that I have showed these to, I'm gonna say probably 99.9% of the people that I show these to, they cannot do them. That doesn't mean that with a little extra effort and some time put into your daily routine that you can't do it. It's gonna take some work, but you will see results with the strength in your wrist, and you'll be blown away by how it helps you with some other things in your fitness ability. So if you're ready to go, check this out. This is gonna be fun. These are some interesting exercises.
Let's get into it, guys.
I'm gonna rise up and back down. My body didn't move at all, just my wrist.
Okay, now guys, notice this. His back stays totally straight. Everything stays totally still. The reason that is so difficult is because the amount of wrist strength that it takes to actually elevate your body like that. He's not bending his arms. He's not doing any of that. It's just the muscles here in the hand and the wrist. This takes years of training, but even though he makes it look really, really simple, anybody can work on this a little bit at a time and can get huge benefit from getting their wrist stronger. John, show them some graduation besides just that difficult exercise.
Absolutely, and the reason that I like to show people this exercise is because it looks simple. Nobody thinks it's intimidating at all, but I've worked with so many different athletes. I show them this, they go, I've got that, that's gonna be really easy. And they're very quickly humbled by how hard that movement is. And I'll tell you, as an elite athlete in the sport of gymnastics, where there's a lot of impact on things like the vault, the pommel horse, the floor, all things that Carrie and I have done before, our wrists have to be strong. So I used to warm up with 3 sets of 30 wrist push-ups a day. That's a lot of wrist push-ups. I think if you could do 3 sets of 10, that'd be a great start for an average person. But in order to get there, here's some simple progressions. First, you want to start on your knees. No reason to not start on your knees, because probably the amount of weight over your wrist by being on your feet is too much in the beginning. And in order to do one, you're going to need to use momentum in your body, which is what we don't want. Now, I'm going to show you what you don't want to do. You do not want to do this.
Right.
That's not a wrist push-up, okay? All you're using is momentum there, okay? So start on your knees, and by being on your knees, you can gradually add weight over your wrist. So I don't have hardly any weight over my wrist right now, and I can lift up and down. That might even be challenging for certain people. As you start to get stronger, lean forward a little bit more. add some extra weight. As you become stronger, add more weight by leaning forward. Once that becomes really, really easy, then go up to your feet. There's even progressions there though. I'm up on my feet, still maybe can't do one, go one hand at a time. Shift your weight one at a time until you can finally do both. This might take a few weeks, might take a few months. Kerry?
One thing to add to that is, look at his hand position. Look at his fingers. John, go and put your hand down again. See how his fingers are separated, okay? His fingers are not pressed together. Okay, that makes a huge difference because it's going to actually engage all of the hand muscles as well as he's pressing up with a much wider base. All these things help to build overall strength in your hand and wrist all together as one unit.
Yeah, and Kerry, we can talk about several different situations where having that push strength in the wrist is so important. We may have some CrossFitters watching this video or some power lifters. Talk to so many power lifters, they're like this with the bar over their head.
Right.
That wrist, it can start to impinge without the right muscles.
Right.
This can give you that extra strength here. CrossFitters, if you're watching, if you've ever had trouble with a bar muscle up, getting stuck like this on the bar, that's because you don't have the power in your wrist to get your weight over the bar. These simple exercises will help with that.
Absolutely. And also, if you're just at home watching and you're trying to get a good push-up and you're maybe wondering why you can't keep your body in a nice straight position, or you're having wrist pain, like I see a lot, it could be simply because your wrists just aren't quite strong enough.
Exercise number 2, like I said, I'm going to give you 3 exercises today. Exercise number 2 is a fingertip push-up. Yes, I said fingertips. Now, these can be kind of intimidating because our fingers are not very strong. We actually don't even have muscles in our fingers. We just have tendons. The muscles are in your hands and your wrist, and the tendons have to build. I learned that from rock climbers. But in order to get your wrists and your forearms stronger, you can actually do fingertip push-ups. And same kind of thing as with the wrist push-ups, I used to do about 3 sets of 10 of these a day. They do kind of hurt, but you can build up to it. So I'll show you simple fingertip push-ups on my fingertips. And yes, you're going to work your triceps and your chest muscles while you're doing this as well, while getting the benefit of the wrist strength. So up and down, nice, easy fingertip push-ups. You do these enough, you will feel the pressure in your wrist. Again, same kind of progressions though. Start on your knees, add or subtract weight off of your body by the direction that you're leaning. If you're leaning back and you do some fingertip push-ups, it's less weight. If you lean forward, you're adding weight. Then you can go up to your feet. Good. Kerry, do you have anything to add to that one?
Absolutely. Well, something else that you guys want to think about, you guys, again, looking at the hand position, and you think about, oh, he's just putting his fingers on the floor, but actually, he's doing this. He's actually squeezing the floor in. That creates a base when so his fingers don't press out flat on the floor. So he's actually pulling, like a suction, and creating a tightness in the hand, which creates strength all the way through the wrist, throughout the bicep, the tricep, the shoulders, the chest, all because of it's from the ground up. Okay, we're going to do something later with shoes and feet and ground up, but right now we're focusing on the hands from the ground up. So it's so important to think about suctioning or squeezing the floor as it creates a nice tight base.
Final exercise. 3rd wrist exercise that you can add to your warm-up. This one's pretty tough, I'm not gonna lie. This exercise is very challenging, will take a long time to build up to, but it's basically working the back side of your wrist. Here's a quick look at it. So I'm actually gonna start on my knuckles. Starting on my knuckles, I'm going to drop down to the back of my hand, and then back up to my knuckles. Down and up, down and up. This exercise is brutal, and I actually don't recommend doing it on a hard floor. Do it on carpet, a yoga mat, any kind of mat in general. It can hurt the back of the hands. I've done these for 20-something years. I'm very used to them. There's a few progressions for this, and I don't recommend doing this exercise until you have worked on the other 2 exercises first at length for months, if not years first, before you get into this one. So what you're going to do, again, start on the knees by taking as much weight off of your wrist structure as possible. Lower down, feel that pressure, and then come back up. I'm actually using my hips to lift myself up and down. I'm not doing much in my wrist, just trying to get a feel for it. Just going up and down, want to feel a little bit of that pressure in the back of the wrist, and you'll feel it's a very different sensation from anything you've ever done. This isn't an exercise many people have ever tried before, but as you become a little bit more confident, you're feeling a little bit stronger with that movement. Again, lean forward, add some weight, go down and back up until you're on your feet. I don't even know what to call this exercise. I just know gymnasts, we use this daily in our training. It helped a ton with pain in the wrist. All of these exercises, if you can eventually incorporate them into your daily warm-up, will help you a ton. Kerry?
This is, again, a very advanced move, and you have a lot of different unnatural movements going on. Like, your body just doesn't normally move this way unless you train it. So you gotta have some flexibility in your wrist as well as strength. You have to have some flexibility in your elbows and as well as strength. Shoulder position, body position. So take your time and go really slow as you're working towards John, making this look really, really easy, okay? If you're a stud, you want to jump into it, go for it, okay? But average person that's trying to get in shape, or even just a really fitness person, a person that's very, very fit, this is not easy. Take the normal progressions and then get into it. Remember, flexibility and strength.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't have said it better myself. Take your time. These are hard exercises. They will quickly humble you. So there's no reason to try to jump into it too fast. That last one that I did, if you just go for it first time without ever trying it before, you may hurt yourself. So please take your time. There's no reason to rush. So just to wrap it all up, your wrists are so important. So here's the 3 exercises we went over today. Wrist push-up. This is the one that's going to blow your mind the most. Simple wrist push-ups, up and down. Making it look kind of easy, right? It's not easy. The goal is 3 sets of 10 of those a day. The next one, fingertip push-ups. All the way down, all the way back up on your fingertips, doing what Kerry said. You're squeezing the floor with those fingertips. The goal there, 3 sets of 10 per day. The final one, I don't even know what to call them. We'll call them back of the wrist push-ups. Starting on your knuckles, drop down, back up, down, and up. I'm not even going to give you a goal on those. That one is take your time, see if you can learn it slowly. If you can do 5 of those, awesome. You can do 10, awesome.
What John has done for us today with these different types of push-ups and wrist and all that, it relates right back to our 1-minute push-up test and the importance of being able to do a good push-up sequence in that 1 minute. Again, we're trying to go for overall total fitness while being an awesome athlete. And John just showed us the great way to do that. So John, show us again, just 1, 2, 3. Show us the wrist push-ups.
So wrist push-ups.
That relates back. See how nice and straight his back is right there? Okay, now it's going to go into the fingertip push-up. Again, it's just a push-up. Then the back of the wrist push-up. Great. He can do none of these if he didn't have a good standard push-up. Okay?
Foundation is everything.
Foundation is everything. Okay, you're taking it from 2 elite athletes and 1 Olympic athlete. You have to have a good foundation to build on, and it's a lifetime. It's a lifetime goal. You keep on building and building and building. So we give you guys all the tools that you need to be fit, as well as be an awesome athlete and perform.
So I hope you got something a little bit different out of this video today. Again, the wrist is so neglected. People really forget about it, which is why there are so many wrist problems and so many athletes that we speak with every day. So if you can just take 1 minute, just 1 minute out of your daily workout as a warm-up to focus on some of these exercises, you'll see major improvements in how your wrists feel, and you might even find that some of the things you're working on get a little bit easier because the strength in your arms starts in the wrist and in the hands.
Absolutely, guys. If you want to improve in so many different areas, you want to improve your lifts, you want to improve pull-ups. If you're an athlete that wants to improve, playing golf or baseball that really involve a lot of wrist strength and forearm strength, but just general fitness like push-ups and supporting and be able to work out without any kind of pain. You have to work this, okay? It's not sexy, it's not fun, you can't really show it off, but you will have huge benefits from doing it. And it does connect the hand to the arm. It's just the wrist right here, okay? So it's very important. So work on that.
Last thing I'll say is this. Once you can do your simple wrist push-ups, challenge your friends. It will make them so mad when they watch you do it. You make it look really easy, and then when they realize they can't do that simple exercise, oh, it's hilarious. So give it a shot, and we'll see you guys soon.
Power's in the flick of the wrist.
That's right.